Okay. Um, One thing I need to say and continue to say, as a target individual, they will try to get you to feel as much anxiety, fear, stress as possible. I think it's part of this whole thing, where they get result out of it. With me, I'm being told every day how I'm gonna be framed. Now, the disturbing part of that is they're gonna frame me using some child, like I don't know specifically. There's three factors of how they tell me they're gonna frame you: implanting drugs, implanting child porn on some one of my devices, either my computer or something like that, or saying that I did something to a child. Here, every time they say these things, right? They tell me how they dare to do that. But you understand how disturbing this shit is. These things they say is because it's cowardly, it's disturbing, and it's an indicator of the problem that these agencies have with pedophilia. It is so nasty. And they try to really make this a fierce act, right? As if people being framed is fierce. Now, you gotta understand, these are people who live in a diluted reality. They distort reality instead of seeing them for the trash, the bottom feeders, the cowards that they are. They try to say it the other way around. Everything is distorted in the reality just to be able to cope with what they do. They are nasty. First of all, you can never see somebody who say, "Yeah, I dare to be framing people," and be like, "Oh, no, you're trash, you're a coward, and you're low life." But these people, via these tactics, are trying to distort the reality because it shows how disturbing these people are. Now, I'd rather die slow. Death comes to all of us. I could have lived, be like, we dared to frame you. Because this shit's gonna die. These people, they're gonna have to live life, and life is gonna come to them the way people who frame life comes to them. Now, via V2K, when they interact with me, oh my gosh. They're like, oh, like, no, they talk like that. And then you hear what happens around their life. Oh, somebody's sick. Oh, I'm getting chest pain. Oh, do you think this is a quinky dink? What do you think things are going to happen? And some of them have deluded themselves in these disturbing ways. I'm talking to this person. And she was trying to play this femme fatale and just like freedom fighter. It's like, you are a coward trash, a delusional trash. This is, and you know, the things they do, it's just like, they don't even, like, I look at them as like, I've interacted with people involved in this. They're like, they're against prison. And I'm like, what? Who can ever respect you when you're involved in this thing and you say these things? You're trash. Matter of fact, I prefer somebody who's like, yo, I'm for prison, I'm going to frame. Then somebody who's like, oh, against prison, but I'm going to dare to frame you. That is the foulest people. That they try to create this psyop. But, oh, now it's convenient. No. Target individual, you know, they try to create this fears into me. It's like, listen, I have dignity. I'm not perfect. I know these nasty things they create in my brain is what they manipulate me. This disturbing reaction manipulation, just like their life, is distorted. It's manipulated. So whatever horrible things that's going to happen to me, it's going to happen to me while I have this sense of dignity. As horrible as it's going to be. This trash, the cowardness, the foulness, the weakness, the disturbance of it all, and they're going to live life through this, going through whatever's going to happen to them, involve themselves. It's just, they will break down in a heartbeat. Just because they know what they involve themselves. You can't do all these nasty things and be like, when these things come back to you and be like, oh my gosh, why me? Because those days are going to come one way or another. You'll be like, oh man, okay, well, I was God. I dare to do all these nasty things to people. I dare to be involved in a program that does these horrible things. I framed people. I did these things. I was here talking to this person while trying to make him accept this manipulation or her. I did all this nasty shit that there's nothing you cannot come back from. Nobody's perfect. We all do things that we can look back and be like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? But these people are involved in a program that is disgustingly disturbing, and it takes a level of cowardness that you can't even understand. They are in the sweatpants doing these things, coming with stories that they have to make up. to block our reality. The life that has been impacted in this are just things that you can't ever come back, and they're pretending to do. Then they're pretending that they're doing it for somebody. They're like, oh, we do it because what you did is what? Don't say this person's name, because I know what you guys do in this program. The way you'll be torturing, frying women. You fry them, you kill them, you torment them, and then you push them to kill themselves, and then you're in that program? Delusional shit. Never. The blood that you have on your hands of women and children, of the most vulnerable, you delusional. And the entities running this program, never. In every sign they've been shown, seen for what they're involved in. If they wanted to delude themselves, they had to work hard for their delusions. That's probably why they call it war. And they like to call people, yeah, you are a pet. It was like, trash, you are working for entities filled with pedophiles. Your pedophiles pay you to be so daring. They contract trash like childlike individual. They work and do these nasty things. Do you think they want the smartest people? They want some clowns. And so I'm watching this thing. It's this boxer. And he says, like, you know, when you go to jail, now people know why you're in it. They know like why is the case you have and everything else. And me, they're like, oh, they're gonna know. I was like, they're gonna know what? That you're gonna frame me? Do your nasty things. I know the people doing these things to me are people who are manipulating the brain in disgusting ways. On top of that, working for entities filled with pedophiles. In every way, they've been humiliated. So I'm going to go in wherever I'm going to go because I'm being framed by people who do manipulations in these disgusting ways. Working for entities filled with pedophiles. Working in a program that torture children. Having some child like trash who's going to frame me or whatever the things they're going to implant. But trash, you see them, nasties. Pedos, little trash, even kids try to touch me. Ugh. Look, this trash can't even say pedophile's name like Roy Moore. Cowards. Do your thing. I know who put me in this program, but this trash, what you expect life to be for them? I rather get cut up in pieces, because this gives you dignity. We target individual become spiritual and feel dignified because we see how people have gone so low and done some foul things involving the foulest things and having to make themselves retarded. You see, the smartest people can turn into retards. And I'm sorry to use this mean word, but this degrading word, but they are truly making themselves be on a spectrum in front of you. And you see, I could have been doing that because in reality, there are incentives bigger than what we see. Not only financial, but others. And so they do this and having to do this to retarded. Can you imagine say, oh, yo, we're going to frame you. We dare to frame you. We're going to have our child. Ugh. What kind of self-respect the mother or father will be like, oh, yeah, my child is going to be framing you. We're going to dare to use my child to frame you. Ugh. And then you hear this childlike individual, yeah, we framed you. Ugh. You understand? But when you're in the program, they've normalized these disturbing and dignified ways of thinking, of doing things. I'm not perfect. Listen, there's things but can you imagine me living my life where I'm in this program, right, that is killing and torturing women and children, and then is manipulating men and women in these disturbing ways, which is commonly known. Right? This is not rarity. You hear the exact same things happening to me, happening to others. And it's like, we're going to dare to frame you. Trash ass. And then finding out the entities who I'm actually working for, some ways or another, these entities have a bunch of pedophiles running this program, which is a coincidence because the tactics we utilize to torment these people are pedophilia-centric. And you know what I say? Oh, it's not fair. Pfft, embarrassing. And then I have to live my life like this? I have to walk around being a normal person? I can't. This is the truth. This is when you know, these people have the countdown of what the horrible things are going to happen to me, but they probably have a countdown for themselves. It's like, this thing is going to come for me one way or another. I know I didn't do that alone, but damn, I had to make myself damn near fucking retarded. I have to use this child it was like, oh, we there. My death is not going to change anything in their life. But they already signed up for something to come back for them. Listen, I'm not a magical being. I do believe there is a level of horribleness that you involve yourself in, for sure, it's going to come back to you one way or another. It might take decades and decades, but it's going to come. And when it comes, it's scarier than anything that you've seen other experience. And I'm not talking about just the horrible torture, but the time comes for you, because death is one thing. This trash, they deal with the death. They deal with death. They talk about how they watch me die, they're slowly killing me. They don't even, they don't even want to dwell. They don't even have a speck of thinking about death. They don't. They don't even want to imagine like even death coming to them. Like they don't even want to smell death of theirs. But they can talk about your death 24/7. You understand how scary it is? Because people who do these horrible things usually, right? They know it's like, oh man, one day, man, I'm going to ride in hell for what I've done. And I'm talking about actually death. Like a hitman or somebody like that. In their mind, they're like, shit, I so much like the devil. They have this sense of death that I've killed people, I've done these things. So when my time comes, if there's such a thing as heaven, I'm gonna ride in hell. Do you think these trash dudes think like that? They don't, because they're in the sweatpants, in a PJ bottom, doing these horrible things, using this very, very sophisticated technology that can make even a child involve themselves in this. And so when they're like, oh, we're gonna dare to frame you, it was like trash. And then I look at you in your eyes, they get like shocked. Everything is like, they do things such remotely that when they face reality, they're like, I'm with somebody. When she's me and she goes into like, and then other people involve themselves. And she thinks I'm going to go into, and she get all nervous. It's like, do you think I really let you live your fantasy? Never. And she's delusional enough to be like, oh, you know, it's like, no, you just dumb yourself down. Then you see me interacting with people who you thought that was going to make me feel nervous. If anything, they are less delusional than you, so they kind of see it, and you just like feel uncomfortable because you thought that your fantasy was real. To all my target individuals, do not subscribe to anything. And if whatever fear tactic they're utilizing to try to start you to get anxious in advance, do not. Find dignity and pray to God that whatever you go through, He gives you the strength that you need. But be glad and be thankful that you are not living this cowardly life. And then die however they're going to die, even though they don't even want to think. To them, death is like something other people experience. So stay strong.